You've been told 1,000 times that you need to count calories to lose weight, but calorie counting is time consuming. It is annoying and it is extremely tedious at the best of times. But as somebody who has lost over 50 pounds, I know how frustrating it can be. But what if there was a way to make calorie counting 10 times easier? Well, there is. So I'm going to share the things I would do to make calorie counting a whole lot easier. And by the end of this video, you are going to feel a lot more confident when it comes to calorie counting. And hopefully, we're going to get you one step closer to reaching that dream physique. The easiest way to make this process a whole lot easier is having the right equipment, i.e. buying a food scale and getting something like MyFitnessPal. Now, the first method is going to be using the barcode feature in MyFitnessPal. And before you start making excuses, no, it is not a paid feature. Another underrated method is creating your meals in MyFitnessPal. This way, you won't have to log every single item when you go and cook a meal, which is going to save you a lot less time. And if it saves you a lot less time, it's going to be a lot easier. Because let's be honest, nobody has the time to sit there and scroll through 20 items every single day when you're going to eat. It's just not happening. We ain't got that kind of time. Next, do not pre-log your meals. Sound confusing? Let me explain. So avoid logging what you think you're going to eat later on in the day. Why shouldn't you do this? Because this can change. Not everything every single day is going to be set in stone. And let's be honest, at 11 o'clock at night, are you really telling me that you're going to be sat there in your bed scrolling, changing and swapping out grams here, there and everywhere? I know you're not. I certainly wouldn't do it. This next one is very interesting because everybody seems to be doing it, but nobody is pointing out the massive problem with it. Don't post log your meals. Does that sound confusing? I bet it does. So let me explain it. Please don't be one of these people who waits till the end of the day to log all of your food. I don't even need to explain why. Why? Because you're going to forget. Especially if you're weighing food in grams, which you always should be, by the way. You're going to sit there and tell me you're going to remember the exact gram amounts for every single food you ate throughout the day. If you do, it's going to be an estimate. And if it's an estimate, it's likely to be wrong because humans are atrocious at estimating anything, especially when it comes to calories. There's PubMed articles you nerds can go and look it up in sight, but just don't do this, please. Don't be surprised if you end up in a calorie surplus and not in a deficit. Why? Because everything that you're entering into MyFitnessPal is going to be completely inaccurate. How about you just track your calories whenever you eat the food? Who would have thought? But this next method is not for the faint-hearted. Some of you may hate it. Some of you may even go on to hate me just because I suggested it. But I call this method caveman style. For this method, you are going to eat the same thing, the exact same thing, every single day. Every single meal is the exact same or something close to it. Eating the same, if not similar foods every single day has massive benefits. Why? Because if you keep cooking the same thing and buying the same things and you get better at cooking it, if you get better at cooking it, you're likely going to be quicker at cooking it. If you're quicker at cooking it, it's going to take you less time. Also, logging everything in MyFitnessPal is going to be so much easier because all of your recent foods are for the most part staying the same, so they're going to be at the top of the app. So you're not even going to have to scroll down that far to find it. And if you're shopping at the grocery store, you're getting the same stuff every day. That's muscle memory. You're going to fly around that grocery store like Sonic. You're going to know exactly where everything is, and that's going to save you even more time so you can spend more time exercising, being in a calorie deficit and losing more weight. Okay, that last one, I stretched that one a little bit too far, but you get the point. Okay, but all jokes aside, I think the biggest benefit of eating the same thing every single day is that you make the whole process and the whole concept and the whole premise of eating very habitual. It's very robotic. You're almost like the Terminator. I'm at the point now where I eat the same exact thing every single day and I don't even think about eating. It's just like, okay, food, we're going this way, that way, where's it? There it is. But if only there was something that could help you break all of your bad, nasty, disgusting habits in just 30 days. Oh wait, there is. Link is in the pinned comment. Come on, you guys know where it is by now. Just click the link and we're going to talk very, very soon, okay? But moving on to the next tip. One of the best ways, hands down, to make calorie counting a whole lot easier is what I like to call the Gordon Ramsay. I don't know why I picked up the razor. It's the closest thing I had next to me. But why do I call it that? Well, that's because we, or you, are going to be spending a lot of time in the kitchen. And why is that, might you ask? Well, because we're going to be doing one of my favorite things, and that is, drumroll please, meal prepping. Meal prepping is the best way to make calorie counting a whole lot easier because you can assume that the calories and the macros in the portions that you're making are roughly going to be exactly the same. Now, believe it or not, you do not need to meal prep for every single meal. I just meal prep for my dinner. And all I do is I have my beef, my chicken, I batch cook it in one day. I just put it in the little grey Tupperwares, pop it in the fridge. Now, whenever I need that bit of protein or when I'm having my dinner, you just throw it in the microwave and you can put your other carbs and your other veggies together. It really doesn't have to be that hard. And meal prepping is great if you just don't like spending a lot of time in the kitchen. Now, there's going to be some of you out there who say, oh, but I can't count my calories because we're going out to dinner and it's impossible for me to track. You're a liar. You lie and you're just making excuses. This is how you're going to count calories while still going out to dinner. First step, research the place that you are going beforehand. Check the menu or download it and see what are the most calorie friendly options and what's likely going to fill you up. This is likely going to be some kind of protein with, some veggies and some carbs. Ideally, stay away from something that's very heavy in the fat and in the carbs, because that's just going to want to make you eat a ton more and you're going to get dessert. You're going to get the starter, and before you know it, you're going to wake up on the scale the next morning and it's going to be like 15 pounds heavier. Now, what do you do when a restaurant doesn't have the calories listed on the menu? We're going to do something which I actually, funnily enough, recommended you not to do early in the video. Can you remember what it is? You probably can't. You're probably not even listening. I'll say it again. You are just going to estimate the calories. Now, be careful here, okay? My golden rule for calculating calories whenever I'm going out to eat is always overestimate the portion that you have. In my eyes, overestimating the portion that you have is way better than underestimating it, because even on MyFitnessPal, if you're a couple thousand calories over, it's more likely to be accurate. When these places and these restaurants are cooking, they're using a ton of oil, a lot of butter, a lot of extra things that we can't see because we're not the ones who are prepping the food. So always overestimate and you're going to be closer to what that figure actually is, even if you're a little bit off by a few hundred calories. I'm not suggesting that you go to a restaurant and take a food scale with you, okay? We're not freaks. Let's try and maintain some kind of normality. This lifestyle that we've chosen is weird enough as it is. Let's not make it any weirder, okay? So when you are out eating, just overestimate your portions just to be safe. Or don't. You can ignore everything I said and wake up on the scale unhappy and miserable. It's also a choice you have. I ain't gonna stop you. Now, some people say that you should set a weekly calorie deficit goal. And I think this is a horrific idea. Horrendous. It's terrible, especially if you're a beginner, and here's why. When I was over 50 pounds, I would set a weekly calorie goal and I would constantly overconsume. I'd say to myself, oh, well, I've overconsumed today, so tomorrow I'm just gonna eat less. Did I do it? Of course I didn't do it. In my humble opinion, setting a daily calorie goal is so much better than a weekly one, because when I set a daily calorie goal, I am focusing on the here and the now, not next week, not next year, not any time else. I'm focusing on today, what's happening right now. And each day you can focus on hitting that goal over an extended period of time. That's going to have a cumulative and compounding effect. And when you finally zoom out and you look at all of the data on MyFitnessPal, you're going to sit there and go to yourself, oh wow, I was on track a lot more than I thought. Why is that? Because you're taking things one day at a time. I'm not saying that you should never set a weekly calorie deficit goal. If it works for you, fine, go ahead and do it. But if you've tried it and it's not working and something seems to be off, and that's a sign that you need to change something, and I would urge you to go back to looking at your daily calorie deficit goals as opposed to weekly ones. But despite everything I've just said, toothbrush by the way, hello, this is hands down categorically the best way to make calorie counting easy, and that's, say it with me now, consistency. I know everybody's clicked off the video, boohoo, dislike it, unsubscribe, do whatever you want, but it's true. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Ain't my fault. Listen, practice makes perfect. The more that you count calories, the better you're going to get at it. There is no secret tip and trick that anybody online, including me, can teach you. It's just one of them things you have to get your hands dirty and do the thing. Thinking about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Doing the thing just is doing the thing. And that was a lot of doing the thing, and I think we need to move on from doing the thing. Now, regardless of everything that I've just said, some of you, for whatever reason, may still be adamant on trying to lose weight without counting calories. And luckily for you, I made a video going over that exact thing, which you can watch right here.